Good day, interwebs. Matt Carter here with another Carter's Commentaries. Hope all is well in your world. Been mulling over this idea for a few weeks. Had it in my journal notebook a couple of weeks ago, and started with Proverbs and oriented around humility. So Proverbs 22:4 is humility is the fear of the Lord. The wages are riches and honor and life. And I got to kind of comparing, I guess, contrasting a bit with a couple of verses up, Proverbs 22:1, and a good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than gold or silver. I and I jotted in my notes kind of this notion of that we're uniquely made, and yet at the same time we're in this need to be have humility. So the way I wrote it was, I am special, created by the Lord with purpose. Be humble. He made me for his purpose, not mine. And I think sometimes it's a weird walk. Um, I grew up Catholic, and if you're Catholic, God bless you. But I struggled as a young man into early adulthood with kind of this notion of it all being driven by doing the right things, and I think there's a huge element of Christianity that pushes us that direction. We're supposed to do certain things and avoid certain other types of things. Really, activity or behavior oriented, and it unfortunately for me drove into, if I didn't do precisely the right thing, then the guilt piece. So kind of this whole Catholic guilt, and I've grown into trying to recognize that I am made for him. He made me, and that's a hugely empowering, uplifting. God made me. He made you, and we may not always. He gives us talents, and there's verses that I could cite that reference that, and using your gifts and your talents for the betterment of your community, kind of your church, and then those that you are going to outward reach to. That community piece of use those talents to help others is fundamentally probably a great way to approach it. And so when we fall short on that, or we choose not to, or we, unfortunately, I know my experience was into this judgment area where I felt like everything was being judged, almost as if God was a kind of a Santa Claus for adults, and he was going to check you, look at the list. And what I've grown to is to recognize, and still work in progress, but I've grown to recognize that I am made by a holy creator, as are you. You even if you don't see that, if you're struggling, you're not sure where you are on your walk, but God knew what he was doing with you, and but despite that uniqueness, that specialty, which in a way makes us all kind of equally special, that's in a way where I draw that humility. Like, we all have that. We're all endowed by a creator to do some good amongst those that we interact with, and that we should strive for sharing and being full of grace and mercy as is he. Love, and as I've spoken before, love being really an action of different types of, being patient, kind, out of the new, Corinthians there, that talking in terms of showing that to others, and so that humility piece is being fearful of, in a way, disappointing, but I've learned to balance it where it isn't just kind of this Santa Claus view. He's going to check his list, and I may or may not get into heaven. It's really about taking what he's given me, the unique, special way he created me, having the humility, though, to recognize it isn't for me. I hope all of that comes to a clear point for us, is that you too were uniquely created for something, for someone, for some people, to do something that you may not even recognize in the moment. A kind word, a smile. They can be small, subtle, little interactions that just change enough someone's perspective, brightens their day. Saying a polite word as you close out a business transaction, or getting your coffee at Starbucks, where you've just tipped forward a bit. That grace and mercy in a very small and subtle way is the way that we can use what God has given us to honor Him, to glorify Him. Where within that, the return on that is a richness of life, and an honorable life and name and character, more than just reputation, but character. And that is more desirable than great riches of earthly value. So you are uniquely created. Embrace that. Enjoy your gifts, but the mission is to share those gifts. Use what you have, the experiences that you've endured, good and bad, to help someone else. Your battle and or your gift of talent could be something that helps another in a way that makes a huge, difficult to see down the road, life improving impact. So it isn't just on Sundays, ladies and gentlemen. It is a daily, hourly, and minute pursuit. Let that be within you on a constant basis, not just when you're worshiping in your church family on Sundays. That should be something that, even if we don't always call it upon His name when we do it, that we're spreading grace, love, and mercy to everyone that we encounter. So I love you. God loves you. Take care of yourself. You need to love yourself too. So do what you need to do to make sure you can give the best you to your family, your friends, and those strangers that are put in your path you may not realize you're supposed to help. Be safe, be well.